So I had made good friends with a girl by the name of Helen Brown. Helen was the niece of Hubie Brown, and she was a very religious girl, but she was also nice to be around, and so we decided we would live together the next year. All that summer, I worked at the cafe, Sutton's Cafe in Provo, and I saved every bit of money that I could so that I would be able to work for board and room. I mean, wouldn't have to work for board and room. I lived at a place where I had some friends stay, a Sister Tuttle, and she was a lovely lady. She took a great deal of interest in what I was doing, and we hoped that we'd be able to live in Sister Tuttle's house, and it turned out that we did eventually get to, but not right at that time. And while I was there, her husband was selling, what's the name of these famous nets that last forever? Pendletons? No, it wasn't Pendleton. There's another one that they sell in Utah and in the Intermountain West. Can't think of the name, but if I hear it, Butte nets, that's what it was. Well, he was selling Butte nets, and he had several samples that he had used that year, and new samples came in. So he let me have the samples for just what they'd cost him, which was not much at all, and those were the kind of clothes that just lasted forever. And so my sophomore year, I was all set up with these Butte nets, which were pretty special, and I felt real good about that. Well, just a bit before school started, I had a letter from Helen, and she said, would you mind looking for a place for 3 instead of 2? She said, I have a friend from our ward that's coming down to school, and she would like to live with us. So I immediately began looking for a place for 3. The apartment that Sister Tuttle had would take 6, and so I knew I couldn't take that. And so I looked around, and that was when we found a little house on 6 North. It was a little, well, it had I guess you could say it was a 2-room house. It had a kitchen and a bedroom and a bath. And so in the kitchen there was a hide-a-bed type thing that opened up for a bed, so 2 could sleep in the bedroom and 1 on the hide-a-bed. So we were set up for the 3 of us. Well, when they arrived, that's when I met Idon Chadwick. And it was a very interesting thing. Much as I liked Helen, in just hours, I knew that Idon was a bosom buddy. It was hard to be as cordial to Helen as I'd been before, because I just enjoyed Idon so much better. We just really hit it off. And it wasn't that I liked Helen any less. It was just that there was a certain stiffness that she had that Idon didn't. And so we just had to work at, both of us, as a matter of fact, to try to do what we ought to do. We got along very well, but Helen was a year ahead of me in school, and she was taking out her 3-year normal. So she finished, that was, it was a normal degree. They would allow them to teach elementary school with 3 years of college, and that's what she was going for. So at the end of that year, Helen had her normal degree, and that left Idon and me to get together for the next year.